What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update for you guys today, and it's set to be a very busy week at Hotspur Way. And today, Manor Solomon has started his medical test. Romano said yesterday that Monday will be Manor Solomon Day at Tottenham. He's arriving in London later tonight. Medical test scheduled for Monday. Contracts will be signed in the next 24 to 48 hours. Solomon joins Spurs as a free agent from Shakhtar, as reported last week. And Sami Mokbel said just a few minutes ago that Manor Solomon has arrived in Tottenham for his medical and should sign in the next 24 to 48 hours if all goes well. So it's Manor Solomon Day today, Sim.
Get excited. Look, I am excited to bring him in, to be fair. I think it is an exciting signing in terms of what he brings to the Tottenham team, his ability on the ball, his dribbling ability. He's a young winger, brings something new. But I wouldn't maybe expect him to hit the ground running or to be answer to our problems going forward, because I still think he's got a lot of developing to do himself, and I still think he's fairly raw despite the fact he's 23 years of age and he had a few good games in the Premier League last season. I still think he's going to need some time, but if we're patient with him and he gets the adequate game time next season to bed in, I think it could be a potentially smart signing from Tottenham. But I don't want Tottenham to sign him on a free and think like it's really smart business and they don't need to, make up for it in the centre-back department, because I really feel like they should be doing that.
Oh, absolutely right. Absolutely right. We'll get onto the centre-backs in a minute, but if we skimp out on these wingers just to go skimp out on the centre-backs again, that'll be nowhere near good enough. We need to go hard on the defenders now and get the main targets in. Now we have got a free transfer on the wing who, look, he's going to play back up to Sonny, but I can't really see him rivaling Sonny for that position. But what I can see is, later on in games, 20 minutes, half an hour to go, him coming on and providing something for us in the final third with his direct running. And as well in the early rounds of the Cups, I expect him to get the nod and get the starts in those kind of games. So we'll bring you the news as and when the announcement is made, but we do expect it to happen in the next 24 to 48 hours. Let's talk about Harry Kane up next, as we brought you the news yesterday that Bayern's second bid did go in for Harry Kane. Romano says today that Tottenham are not interested to accept the €80 million fixed fee for Harry Kane. Sources close to Spurs guarantee that this amount won't be enough for Bayern to make the deal happen. Bayern want to insist on Harry Kane as they still hope to make progress on this deal. Dan Kilpatrick just echoes those thoughts, saying that Tottenham are expected to reject Bayern Munich's second offer for Harry Kane, understood to be in the region of 68.5 million plus add-ons, that's pounds. And Ali Gold says that Harry is due back at Hotspur Way on Wednesday. I mean, we've spoken a bit about these derisory bids coming in for Harry Kane, but 68.5 million. I mean, that's just taking the piss.
Yeah, it's never, ever going to be accepted by Tottenham. Mason Mount went for a similar amount than that. So if you're talking about one of the best strikers in European football...
Declan Rice went off 105 million.
You're talking about a player who scored 30 goals last season, has been phenomenal and consistent for many, many years. Best striker, arguably, in European football. And I know he's 30 years old, but I think Eden Hazard went at 29 years of age for 100 million to Real Madrid with 1 year left in his contract. And that was 4 years ago. Yeah. And this market is even crazier than that one. So it's a massively derisory bid, in my opinion. It should be rejected out of hand. It was interesting to read Plettenberg say yesterday that Kane wants the move, but he won't go on strike to force the move. And that's pretty much what I felt like about the situation. I'm not surprised that Kane is interested in Bayern Munich, and maybe he sees a chance to win trophies. But if a satisfactory offer doesn't come in from them, is he really gonna do what is necessary to force the move this time around, like he tried to do against when Man City came in 2 years ago, or is he going to be more willing to just accept it and see how things go with Tottenham for this season, and then knowing that he can still move on a free if things don't go well? And I think that's probably the course of action he's going to take. And I do think if Bayern can reach an agreement with Levy and Tottenham, then maybe he'll be happy to leave. But I don't believe he's going to be going on strike and trying to force move to Bayern Munich.
Yeah, and I think that's completely right, because you know that he holds all the cards now, as opposed to a couple of years ago where he had 3 years left in his contract. Man City came calling. They never stumped up the cash, but he desperately needed the move and wanted the move, and he was willing to, not turn up to training to try and force that move. But that's not the case anymore, because he knows as time ticks down now, he holds all the cards. If he doesn't sign a contract, he's free to go wherever he wants. in a year's time. So he knows what Tottenham have given him over the years. He's given Tottenham exactly the same. But I don't think this move happens this summer. I don't think Bayern stump up the money. And if they want to insist on him, then they've got to get close to that £100 million mark. Never mind euro. They need to get close to that £100 million mark. And it doesn't seem like they're getting anywhere near that with these derisory bids. 68.5 million as their second bid is ridiculous, to be honest.
Nowhere near enough. And it's laughable, that amount of money is never even going to be considered by Tottenham.
Yeah. Let's move on and let's talk about Edmund Tapsoba now. I'm kind of sick and tired of reading and giving the same updates over and over again to you, but Romano has said today that Tottenham are still considering Edmund Tapsoba as a top target, but no official bid yet, while talk continue with both Tapsoba and Van de Ven this week. Final decision on the new centre-back will depend also on asking price with Leverkusen and Wolfsburg. This is an interesting one because Bannister on Twitter says that Spurs don't want to miss out on Tapsoba, basically. Looking at all potential avenues, their other centre-back, Jonathan Tah, has a release clause that expires tomorrow, believed to be around £15 million. So Leverkusen are playing hardball to potentially avoid losing both of their centre-backs and certainly one for below his value via the clause. So what are you making out of this situation now?
Yeah, it just seems as though it's rumbling on. I think it's going to be sorted out this week, to be honest, what's going to happen. I think before the end of the tour, we're going to want one centre-back. Before the start of the tour, we're going to want at least one centre-back through the door to travel with us. Now, whether that be Tapsoba and Van de Ven, clearly it's up in the air. I'm really hoping it's Tapsoba, in my opinion. As much as I do think Van de Ven's good, I think Tapsoba is a bit more expensive, but he's worth the money, in my opinion. He's a superior centre-back right now, can play on the left as well. I think we'll know more about it in the coming days. But maybe once that clause has expired for Jonathan Tah, maybe there will be a bit more movement for Tapsoba in terms of Bayer Leverkusen lowering their fee. I don't know if that's what the hold-up is. I'd be surprised if it is, even though it does make sense a bit. I would be surprised if they can just considerably lower their fee just because of that. So I don't expect too much change, but maybe there would be a bit less kind of panic from Leverkusen side if the Tar release clause expires, and then all of a sudden they're not held to ransom on that, and then they're not going to lose both centre-backs for relatively low fees. But Tapsoba is definitely more valuable than Tar for sure. So I understand that they're going to be offering quite a high fee for him, and I think Tottenham should just go for it. I really do. I don't think they'll end up regretting it. I think it'll be a fantastic signing, and I don't know why. Look, clearly the negotiations are always going to take long with Tottenham. We know that they like to take every single penny off they can. But in modern day transfers, when you can loan with mandatory offers, you can pay in instalments, all these kind of things, I don't see why we can't afford both. I just don't understand it. There's definitely money at Tottenham. As much as we're not in Europe, we have the money. So I don't understand why 45 million or 75 million on two centre-backs is completely beyond the realms of possibility, considering how you can structure payments nowadays. So I don't understand why we can't do both, but I've said that before. Hopefully Tapsoba's the one, but I do get the feeling, though, something must be happening, because we had Van de Ven pretty much wrapped up last week, and it's still nothing's moving there. So maybe there is a bit of hope that Tapsoba, there is movement there.
Yeah, I'd like to hope so. I mean, Romano keeps saying that he is our top target, so I do expect maybe if this Tar thing is true and the release clause does end tomorrow, you expect more movement towards the end of the week. They do fly out on Friday to Australia for the pre-season, and we have to have something wrapped up before then. We really do. And Darren Yarlett on Twitter saying this is a big week for Tottenham. He was kind of giving cryptic clues that a centre-back will be lined up just before we do go on our tour. So watch this space. But in terms of this Jonathan Tah thing, 15 million, would you not be really surprised if no one snaps that up before tomorrow? Because for 15 million, it's a great deal.
Yeah, I think he's a good player. I don't think he's on the level of Tapsoba or Van de Ven, to be honest.
Yeah, but you're talking about 15 million here.
Yeah, 15 million is cheap, but to be honest, you would think that people would be interested, but he's 27 years of age. I don't think he's like a leading Premier League centre-back, to be honest. I think he'll probably be a decent one, but maybe he doesn't want to leave. Maybe he's happy at Leverkusen.
Yeah, that's also true. But look, keep your eyes peeled on this one, because I do expect this to gather pace over the next couple of days as the Spurs international players creep in through the door at Hotspur Way over the next couple of days. Like I said, Harry Kane will be back on Wednesday, and I suspect after Wednesday the majority of players, if not all of them, will be back. But that is your Tottenham update today. Manor Solomon, this could be the day today we could sign him, or tomorrow. So we'll bring you the updates of the announcements when it does happen, and keep your eyes peeled out for the centre-back situation as well. But thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.